What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Uberkooledgarage. On this week's episode, we're going to continue with Zack's Ghia, get everything kind of buttoned up. We're going to finish off the cooling system, finish quite a bit of little bits and pieces that need to be done. I am sorry, it has been over a week since I have posted a video. Last week was my birthday, my wife's birthday, and our anniversary, so I ended up taking off a couple days, hang out with the family. So we just did little bits and pieces here and there last week, and then this week we got quite a bit done. So we're getting really close. A lot of parts have been ordered, and everything else is kind of coming together. Gonna start bodywork here this week. Start sanding down the car, figure out what it needs for bodywork wise. Paint is on order. It should be here roughly Thursday, I'm hoping. So actually hoping for sooner, but we will start doing bodywork and stuff like that. I'll keep all of that to a minimum so then you guys aren't bored to death. So it's coming along pretty good. Really liking how this car's turning out. There's issues that keep popping up and stuff like that, but it's an old car that somebody didn't really take care of too much. They just kind of started putting it together. So we're trying to make this car as safe as possible for Zack to drive. Doing the brakes, the suspension, making sure all the motor stuff is good, getting the car situated. So we'll get right into the car. If you guys are interested in a swap, feel free to email me. My email is down in the description, or you can DM me on Instagram. I'll put that in the description as well. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Got some parts in the mail today. Been waiting on a couple things, so there's more parts coming, but got the majority of it. I also ordered the paint. That is on its way as well. So I got primer, paint, and I already have clear coat. So got that stuff on order, but I got the air conditioning hose kit with all the fittings, hoses. Also has the dryer in it. Of course, super hard to open with one hand. So that comes with the dryer too. So get all that figured out. I'm still waiting on the actual air conditioning unit and the condenser. So that stuff is on its way. It should be here probably in the next couple days. So he will have heat and air conditioning in this car, which is pretty cool. If this system works out, I'll let you guys know how it works and how easy it is to install and stuff like that. So we'll go through that whole process as well. Another thing that I ordered for myself and make things a little bit easier, I went ahead and ordered a hose crimping tool, so that way I can do more air conditioning swaps in the future. I'm actually thinking about running something a little bit different on the Bug. We'll get into that once we start getting back into the Bug. But so now I have the crimping tool, which is pretty darn nice. Make life a whole lot easier in the future if people want air conditioning. So I actually, one of the next swaps that I might be doing, he wants AC as well. So if this system works out, we'll continue installing them in people's cars. So got this stuff. I'll give you a rundown on what all the car has been, what's been happening with the car. All right, so I haven't really been filming too much of this stuff. It's all small stuff. It all just kind of you know, takes a minute here or there. So I got the radiator shroud done. You can see down here that this side's still open, so that'll allow air to scoop in past and hopefully get all that stuff, give it a little bit more room for cooling. So you have the fresh air vents up front that are cut open, and I gotta cap those still, but this will allow air from inside the hood to make its way in and down. So what this does is this allows all the hot air to just scoop down underneath the car. I gotta make a plate for this that unscrews, so makes it kind of nice because you can pop off the radiator cap and fill it from here or either the back. In the back, it's starting to look like a motor again. So I got the alternator in there, found a belt that fit perfect. I got the, I don't know if I showed this in the last video, but I have a different style adjuster in there. The air conditioning pump is on. I'm probably going to paint that a little bit. I still have to clean up a lot of the motor, but other than that, the fuel system's done. The EGR is back there. I just got to route a couple vacuum lines. The intake is pretty close to wrapped up. I think I'm going to run a bracket off of this down somewhere around here just to hold it where it needs to go. The EGR is routed, runs into the back of the mass airflow sensor housing. So that's after the mass airflow, so that's where it is factory. If it doesn't work, then I'll have to figure something out. Got the throttle cable in. I have to make a different bracket to actually fluctuate the throttle correctly. I went ahead and bolted up the breather box, and then I'm going to run a clamp on the hoses, 1 or 2 clamps on the hoses, just to keep them where they're at. Coolant wise, come out of here, went and bought some hose, comes out of here into this one. So this is pretty much a surge tank kind of deal. With this in my Ghia, it worked out really well. Very, very easy to fill. No problems from that. From there, I have to connect this to the other side of the coolant pipe. But after that is done, the coolant system's done, other than the heater lines. So we're looking pretty good. I got an email from the ECU company. They have a couple parts of theirs on back order, so they told me that the ECU will be here hopefully within the next week or two, and then we'll get that in and hopefully start this thing up. We're gonna start jamming on bodywork and getting the paint situation all done, and then hopefully that should be it. Eventually he's going to bring it back for interior stuff. I'm going to, for now, make him a back seat, and then after that we'll work out the rest with the headliner and the front seats and all that stuff, door panels, stuff like that. So as far as motor wise, this thing's turning out really good. Really close. All right, I got the condenser in today, so I'm gonna put a fan on this and see if it's gonna fit where I think it's gonna fit, and then once the interior evap and fan motor and all that stuff comes in, then we will start plumbing all this stuff up. Hopefully get everything all situated, good to go. A couple more things happened on the car last night, so I will give you guys a rundown on that. As far as the cooling system is completely done now. I think I might change hose clamps. I don't like the ones that I bought. They don't feel as secure as they should. So I'm probably going to change out the hose clamps, but the radiator system is done now, and once the interior fan comes in, we'll plumb in the heater lines, fill it up with water, make sure nothing leaks, and then we'll flush it out and fill it with coolant. That way everything's all good and ready to go. So it's just one more thing knocked off the list. Alright guys, so I got the cooling system done. Everything's plumbed up there. So just so you guys know, I have one line here that goes up to the bottom of the radiator. So the lower radiator hose goes to the lower mount on the motor. The upper goes to the upper side. So this one goes to the top side of the radiator. This side goes to the bottom. They run all the way down the back of the car. And then once you get back here, you can see that this one runs down, up, through there, up into there. So that's the tank reservoir, which is kind of nice, makes it really easy to fill. That loops down, goes into the block. And then the other side runs through and around. So unfortunately, you can see that it's dripping. It looks like I went ahead and pulled the water pump off, put just a tiny bit of sealant around it, let that cure up, tighten it all back up, and started filling it again, and it's leaking again. So come down here, it's dripping from right there, so it looks like there's a crack in the water pump. So just little tiny things about this car are a real struggle. So I have, I believe, 2 other water pumps. So I'll try throwing on a different water pump maybe, and we'll see if any of mine will fit. Hopefully they do. So we'll pull this off again and try and see if I can get a different water pump on here. All right, so I got the water pump pulled out again. So goodness. So right here is where it was dripping from. There's no visible cracking or anything like that, but there's that weep hole there, and then there's a weep hole there. So decided to see if that was leaking. Went ahead and put compressed air into this side. It blows out this side, but if I plug this side and do the air compressor into this side, you can actually hear it coming from in here. So I'm guessing the water pump, the actual water pump seal itself is no good. So that really sucks. So I'm gonna see if one of the other water pumps that I have here fits. The only problem with that is I think both of the ones that I have are either a EJ20, or I think I might actually have 2 EJ255. So we'll see if one of the other ones will fit, if it'll work, and we'll put that in hopefully. If not, I gotta go buy a water pump. So let's check my parts bin. All right, so went ahead and put on a different water pump. The inlet, or the inlet to it, is a little bit different. And there's also a hose that loops down and around now, but it is full of water and it is not leaking at all, even when I pump up the hose a little bit. That way it builds a little bit of pressure, so no leaks there. So we'll put the timing belt kit on, and then we get the whole front of this motor all back together. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you this week. Hopefully next week we'll start getting into body and paint, stuff like that. So we're going to continue on in this car. The bug stuff is coming soon, I promise. My Ghia has actually not left yet. We're having problems with the shipping company. And trying to get all that stuff situated. So as soon as that car goes, I am ordering pretty much all of the parts for the bug, and I'll probably take a week's vacation from work and just knock the car out as much as I physically can. So bug stuff is coming. Zack's car's getting pretty close. I do have another car that is potentially going to be coming up here. That one's getting shipped up from San Diego. Hopefully that one goes through. If not, I am talking to one of the Sacramento guys about swapping his. So we're going to continue getting all this stuff done. As soon as Zack's Ghia's done, I'm going to order all the parts or all the tools to start making all the carbon parts. So if you guys are interested in carbon parts, feel free to comment or email me, and I'm gonna start off small and then start working my way up. So if you guys are interested in parts or have any suggestions for parts, feel free to let me know. And we will see you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.